A thread by Carlos Osuida. And there it is. Congratulations on your re-election, Mr. Trump. I give you a one-man standing ovation. They went for it. From Breitbart.com, Kamala Harris. Our ticket can say Black Lives Matter while Trump is sowing the seeds of hate. From the article, quote, when you have one ticket that can say the phrase Black Lives Matter and another who has full time sowing hate and division in our country, those are the things that are going to motivate Black women to vote. A point in pride about a Black woman being on the ticket. End quote. Democrats are simply recreating the 2016 campaign. This is proof that the Democratic Party is indifferent to the fate of Black Americans. Trump continues to address issues that have plagued inner city Blacks for decades. Have you noticed that he never talks about the problems that are, to be frank, self-inflicted, but instead simply builds opportunities? Trump has too many Black supporters to count. I've watched all his roundtable discussions. Some of the people there are ferocious. Kingface, for example. I watched him on an all-Black radio show. It looked to me as though everybody there was about to come to blows. But at the end, they thanked him and gave him respect. See, American Blacks are no more monolithic than any other group, only in their voting history. Like all racial and ethnic groups in the US, Black people have multiple regional cultures. Duh. So, you can't send a friggin' missionary out to talk to people. It's insulting. Trump is able to communicate because he's always the same. He never panders, and he's never condescending. As Victor Davis Hanson said, Trump goes everywhere in his suit with his two long neckties, and he addresses everybody in his, not my words, grating Queen's accent. Hanson said rightfully that this is great. Unlike Harris, I watch tons of YouTube videos put out by Black Americans. They are all informed. Check out Danai Gurira, actor, playwright, and activist, never heard of her. Quote, our democracy cannot survive another 4 years of the current administration. This is literally life or death, end quote. This is pure madness. Trump is the most democratic and federalized president in our history. Every day he reiterates why he's not using the totally legal powers he has. Under Trump, states have more freedom than ever. Individual Americans have more freedom than ever. Biden is promising to be an absolute dictator who rules by fiat the way Obama did. Nationwide mask order, implementing the Green New Deal by executive order, removing our borders, putting tons of Americans out of a job. Oops. Forgot to put the link to Danai Gurira's demented quote about how our democracy can't survive 4 more years of freedom. It's from marieclaire.com. 100 influential women on why they're voting in the 2020 election. The Democrats have formally embraced Black Lives Matter. Therefore, the Democrats own this. Breitbart.com. BLM activists storm Seattle neighborhood, demand residents get out. Quote, get the fuck out so we can come back. All y'all white motherfuckers, get the fuck out of our neighborhood so we can come back. Get the fuck out and give us our shit back. Reparations, baby. Pay the fee. Open your purse. Do you know that you're living in an historically Black neighborhood right now? Do you know that before your white ass came here, it was all Black people? You are living on Black people land. Open your wallet. Give us your house. Give Black people back their homes. You sitting there comfortable as fuck. You sitting up there having a good time with your white friends. Let's not act like you are just oblivious to this shit because you knew about it all along. You okay with it? But guess what? We're not. And we're bringing it to your front fucking door. So what the fuck you plan to do about it? What do they plan to do about it? They plan on voting for Trump, you imbecile. Americans aren't big on ethnic cleansing. This tactic is spreading to other cities, but only Democratic cities in blue states. The Democratic platform, according to leaks, will call for the social, economic, academic, judicial, and legal extermination of whites. Now hear this. Now hear this. It'll never happen, so don't go crazy. You know what this is? This is the lovesick male ant crawling up the female elephant's leg and promising her that he'll be gentle. You have nothing to fear. So this here is the moment where you decide what kind of person you're going to be. You're at a fork in the road. Both new roads are clearly marked. One says, stay calm and win. The other says, go nuts and lose. You have free will, but just remember that your choice impacts everybody else. You have the weight of the country on your shoulders. You can blow it, or you can let Trump's plan proceed to its inevitable end. Some of you still don't think the Democrats are this insane. Well, looky here, CNN.com. This is Joe Biden's secret weapon. Joe Biden is not Donald Trump. Joe Biden will win by simply being not Trump. Ask Dr. Karlin Borisenko if that's true. She needs 100,000 YouTube subscribers. If all of my followers subscribe to her, she makes it easily. She is a crucial voice. Like Kingface, she knows the culture. It doesn't matter that she disagrees with Trump on a lot of things. That is what Trump wants. He has opponents whom he hires to tell him the cons of his actions. So if we can get her over 100,000 YouTube subscribers, she's here to stay. And her content is good. So do me a solid. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. She's voting for Trump, and she'll help create a loyal opposition. Back to CNN's Chris Soylent Grin Chiliza. Quote, in a new Pew poll, which shows Biden leading Trump 53% to 45% among registered voters, more than half of those who support Biden say the main reason is that he's not Trump. We're living in Groundhog Day. The Democrats are reliving 2016. It's absolutely shocking, but Trump made them do it. I said in about May of 2017 that Trump's strategy was to create a reverse honeymoon period. All two-term presidents start out popular and fade. Trump deliberately made himself seem unpopular, and then he goaded the Democrats into killing their own support until they descended to his level and then fell below it. Trump never changed. Do you know why the polls don't matter? This is why, from Politico. Trump's campaign knocks on 1 million doors a week. Biden's knocks on 0. Trump's campaign volunteers are polling over 1 million people a week. The Democrats are doing no canvassing. They think that Biden and Harris have it in the bag based on polls. They learned nothing from 2016. Here's the final element. Black intermarriage rates have skyrocketed. All the anti-white racism is impacting Black people's families. And another thing, watch this video and listen to the neighbor. The man under the car is fine, no injuries. I watched the video, a neighbor comes by. The important thing about him is that he has a very urban accent. He sounds not typically white. The neighbor on the left is as white as Joe Biden. There's no systemic racism in the US. We're divided by class. And Trump is addressing that by making the working class richer through opportunity. Now check this out. The top 20 whitest and blackest names. abcnews.go.com. Quote, studies of resumes have found that people with black-sounding names are less likely to get callbacks. White names: Jake, Connor, Tanner, Wyatt, Cody, Katie, Madeline, Caitlin, Emma, Abigail versus Deshaun, DeAndre, Marquise, Darnell, Malik, Imani, Ebony, Shanice, Alia, Precious. These studies are totally invalid. You need to add these white names: Cletus, Billy Bob, Bama, Rebel, Zelbert, Sister, Junebug, Moselle, Gurley Ray, Dixie. In World War I, the British said that flamethrowers were useless. Here are the British flamethrowers used in combat: the one-man Norris, which weighed 130 pounds. The Livens semi-portable, which weighed 150 pounds, was carried on two poles like a sedan chair, did backward somersaults when fired, and doused the crew in burning oil because the rigid lance kept putting off. The Livens and Vincent large galleries, which were 50 feet long, had to be used in underground tunnels, took several days to assemble, consumed several tons of fuel, and traversed automatic regardless of what the target was doing. The British based their claims on their own madcap designs. It's like designating a sofa an aircraft, putting passengers on it, pushing it off the top of a skyscraper, and then saying that the aircraft don't work. The Democrats are that insane. Nobody who cares about safety, stability, and prosperity wants to get on the Democratic sofa airliner, so Trump wins. Hugely. Take it to the bank.